Ladies and gentlemen, Sarge.
Welcome back, my little sausages. My next guest has just returned from entertaining the troops in Iraq. He's an old friend of mine, and he's a very, very funny man. His CD is available on his website, and his name is Sarge, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I told my mother I was going to be on television, and she said, make sure you wear something slimming because the TV camera puts on about 20 pounds. Like that's going to matter to me. Look at me. I'm like a futon with a face. Look at me! I was a fat kid. I really was. I can't tell you how many kids got stuck at the top of the seesaw at recess when I was there. It's unbelievable. So you're looking at me, you're thinking, how did Curious George and Brian Gumble get in the same body, probably, right? Yeah, I'm a black Jew, which means I shoplift, but just wholesale. Yeah. Thank you. Jewish part of me doesn't work on Friday nights. The black part tries not to work the other 6. So I'm actually not all the way black. I'm actually mocha, like if Starbucks doesn't have a poster boy. Mocha Frappuccino Grande Man. So it took me 4 flights to get here from the East Coast. It was unbelievable. First flight was a crop dusting flight. I don't know if you've ever done one of those. Guy asked me how much I weighed before I got on the plane. So I asked him why he had to know that. So he said, so I know how much gas to put in. I told him, fill it. Fill it! And put out the cigarette! Moron. Had his hat on backwards. I said, why are you wearing your hat backwards? He goes, because we gonna be going real fast. Had to go through security 4 times for 4 flights, you know, to TSA. I've been orifice searched, body cavity searched, felt up so many times. I'm actually going back next week. I'm not even going to fly. I'm going to take a Viagra and just wait. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So I'm here. I made it, you know, and I'm staying with my friend Scott. He's got a kid named Jake, 12 years old. Kid's 12. He's smarter than I am. He has a supercomputer. Kid has a PlayStation. Kid has a Game Boy. I was 12. The most technologically advanced thing I had was a light bright and a vibrating back scratcher. All right? I had an Etch-a-Sketch. Took me 2 years to make a circle on it. 12 years old, I was still looking at the back of the TV to see how the people got in there to do the shows. I was like a moron. And they're smarter than we are today, but let me tell you something. They are so sheltered. These kids, a whole generation of people that have ridden bikes with helmets for their entire life. You know what I mean? They're all diagnosed with something. You got to watch them, you know? It's like, don't yell at him. He's got ADD, HD, TV. Yeah. My father diagnosed me when I was 12. He said, he's a moron and he won't sit still. I was terrible at school. I mean, school was unbelievable, but you know the worst subject? Math. Nightmare. I knew I was sunk when my parents couldn't do the homework anymore. It was a nightmare. Algebra, letters with numbers for some strange reason, you know? And the teacher used to say, make sure you're able to do this algebra. You'll never have a decent job. How much is 2x plus y, Sarge? I was like, that's me mopping at Burger King for the rest of my life. Oh, it was unbelievable. I couldn't do it. And I went to summer school, right? They sent me to geometry. Shapes with disabilities. Have you seen this? Rhomboids, trapezoids, hemorrhoids. And that was Greek letters. What's the value of pi? I was like, at a diner? Like $1.79, I think. It says to me, what are you, a comedian? I said, he sure better be. Trigonometry. I had to do trigonometry. I thought that's what you got from eating undercooked pork. I had no idea. Calculus. I thought he was the leader of Rome after Nero. No questions about it. The worst was word problems. Remember word problems? This is where they took all the math you couldn't do and wove it into a stupid story. If Larry has a bike and rides it into a wind out of the north-northwest at 4y miles per hour. Larry has a bike, rides it into a wind out of the north-northwest at 4y. Meanwhile, Chuck's got $18.20, converts them to euros on a Wednesday at 1:30 Central Time. Amanda's at the Amtrak station, though, traveling in a westerly direction at 53 mph over the square root of 17 minus 2a. How much Valium is Sarge going to have to shoot into his eye socket with a turkey baster to get out of middle school? I'm telling you. Couldn't fool the math teacher. Told you, don't just put down an answer. Show me how you arrived at the answer in the show all work section. You remember that? Show all work. So one time in the show all work section, I put a sketch of me looking over the kid next to me's shoulder. Thanks very much, Late Late Show.
I think that worked.
Yeah, kind of.